Hello and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we'll be looking at a very beautiful car in my opinion. This is a car that I personally like. I think it's probably just gonna be my favorite realistic model. Like I said in the 500 subscriber special video, I probably will have two categories: favorite fantasy casting and favorite realistic casting. My favorite fantasy casting is the Dior 2, specifically the Wave Rippers edition from Highway 35. That one's an amazing car. But this, the VW Bus, there's so many different colors, but there's only one that I really like out of all of them, and it's this. It is the first edition from 1996 VW Bus. Very simple. It's blue, has the Hot Wheels racing design on it, and there's some other little details which we'll definitely be taking a look at. But also, I also have, ironically, the monster truck version of it, which they released in 2022. This one I'll be keeping in the box because the prices are pretty high on it. I don't feel like opening it, and plus it's a treasure hunt, so for what? But thankfully I have the original, and we're gonna be I guess I'm gonna be talking about how do you know if you have the original or if you have a 30th anniversary release, because in 1998 they released this exact same car, but there's a few differences in it. Some could be permanent and some are not. So because there's only been about like one video that I've seen of pretty much RaceGrooves posted a video on how to see if your VW Bus from 1996 it's actually from 96 or it's the reproduction from 98. So we'll take a closer look at it, shall we? And here it is. Here is the VW Drag Bus in its full glory from 1996. So this, I've had it. I got it at the swamp meet, if I remember. I got a really good deal on it, and yeah, this is awesome. It opens up, orange plastic interior with the seating and a little bit of the suspension part. Huge motor engine, the exhaust, the little wheelie bar, and yeah, it has small wheels on the front and then really big basic wheel on the back. I think it might be the only car in the mainland that's released that type of wheel. I think maybe there's others, or the only car to actually ever receive those types of wheels, which is interesting. This car was designed by Phil Roman. Of course, like I've said before, one of my favorite designers. I also found this comment from my Dairy Delivery video, how his designs were big and chunky, and he pretty much already knew that that these models would pretty much become like staples of big limited editions and very, I guess we'll call them cash cows, as RaceGrooves would call it. But yeah, the Hot Wheel, it says Hot Wheels. There's a little person holding a steering wheel. It might be a Volkswagen thing. That piece of wording right there in yellow, that actually says driving pleasure. Translated to English, this is a German text, and translated to English it says driving pleasure, which is, again, it's a Volkswagen thing. I think it was an old a quote, an old slogan. It says Phil's VW Performance Parts, which is a reference to the designer, Phil Roman. He designed this, and he just pretty much just put his own logo. Like designers usually like to put their own logos, like if they're actually like performance parts sponsors or just stuff like that, which definitely it could definitely make a car look cool. Here's the top, not much going on. Blue sparkly paint, and we'll take a closer look at the wing and why I think this is actually the 1996 edition. So here's the base, metal. This thing is heavy. Actually might be the heaviest car Hot Wheels has ever made. The lightest being the go-kart, which I also do have. I have it somewhere. And the heaviest being the VW Bus. And I can't even imagine this being on a downhill track. This will probably be unstoppable, I feel. The front has the VW logo embossed. There's the little swoop design that you see on the front of T1 panel buses, and the little lights. No headlight detail, unfortunately. Let's take a look at the base. Metal, of course, copyright 1995 Mattel, so this was released 1996 as the first edition. China and VW bus. And we can see Phil Roman's logo, P and R. That's his initials, which is also seen on a bunch of other models as well. But let's take a look at the monster truck version and see how similar they really look. So yeah, you could probably find this, but this came out last year, so maybe not, just depending on the store. New for 2022, the Hot Wheels VW drag bus monster truck, and you could already tell the similarities between the two. We got the little driver again, huge Hot Wheels logo. Phil's VW performance parts, they got a little bit of an updated logo, which is interesting. And yes, this is a treasure hunt again. Red line monster truck tires, circle flame logo right there. Again, I don't want to say it. German text again, driving pleasure. And yes, it moves around because it is a monster truck. So let's take a look at the comparison a little bit. So we have the, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So of course the difference, there's no treasure hunt logo in the corner. A little bit difference in the flames, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna fit this. So there's two pieces of flame right here. And there's the two pieces of flame, but the white is more defined than the original. Phil's VW, the text is obviously different. I do prefer this one a little bit because you can read it a little bit. This one not so much. I don't want to say that. This is the same text, the same person on the front, but there is a difference in the front. I don't know how I'm gonna fit this. There it is. There is actually headlight detail, and the emblem is actually painted as well, which is cool. I wish they had that technology back then, but you know what? I don't mind. And the back, unfortunately, doesn't open up like the other one, and this one actually has a plastic wing. And let's take a look at the back of the description. So VW drag bus. There's the Phil's VW performance parts logo. There's the monster truck. The name, Volkswagen drag bus, van, it's a truck type, strength, fantastic speed, and the crash attack is drag down, which is interesting. Hot Wheels, there's the little treasure hunt symbol again, VW drag bus, and it comes with a crashable car, and there's the other cars that were released in the set as well. There's the dairy delivery, there you go, 2 Phil Roman designs, maybe even more, I don't know. There's the SpongeBob SquarePants, which is interesting, I like that. But back to the car, which is pretty much the focus of this video. So I guess we'll move on to the segment where I teach you guys if you got scammed or not. So hopefully you didn't. So I guess a big difference if you get the 30th, if you think you have the 30th anniversary or the real deal, if you buy it loose, is there's supposed to be a 30th anniversary gold logo right here on the wing. The original doesn't, but the reproduction does. And if you have that, that means you have the 30th anniversary, not the real deal. But like RaceGrooves, I'm quoting a lot of stuff from RaceGrooves since he's pretty much the only source I've seen of him talking about the VW drag bus. Someone could pretty much just take that off with like acetone, remove the logo. It's gonna look the same. Like there's gonna be subtle differences, but for the most part it's gonna look the same. Everything is gonna look the same. And both of them will open up, of course. You're not gonna find anything there, but there is a there's a difference in the bottom. So I guess we'll take a look at it here. I hope it doesn't glare too much. So you're gonna want to look here all the way at the front. Now the drag bus is held on by these plastic clips, and you of course want to be careful with them because they might snap, or they might break, or they might just come off. You can put it back if it doesn't break, but we'll take a look at the front right there. So you see this little plastic clips right here. In the middle there's a little hinge, I guess. It's like rectangular, while the 30th anniversary, it's actually more of a square. This is like an actual rectangle right there. That is actually a rectangle, while the 30th anniversary reproduction It's a square, or some people would call it a trapezoid shape, or like RaceGrooves would call it. Uh, yeah, that's a good thing that they made it a little bit different. Just so that people wouldn't have to resell it and actually claim it's a 1996 edition. So just that big difference. If you buy it loose and you see that it's a square, then you either might have gotten scammed, or you probably didn't read it correctly that it was the 30th anniversary. But hey, even if it is, just get it. I wouldn't mind. I got this, not really knowing if it's a 1996 edition, but even if it was the 30th anniversary, I'd still really be happy, because this one's a really nice one. Of course, both of them open up just nicely. And you know what? No one's gonna know. No one is absolutely gonna know unless they see the logo, but no one is absolutely gonna know nothing. And hey, just be happy with what you collect. If you don't have enough money to buy this, just get the 30th anniversary, even though those are going up in value as well. But this one, thankfully, I found it at the flea market, nice price, mint condition, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm not gonna sell it. Not thinking of selling it, because this is just a really nice piece. The only VW bus that's ever been in the main line, I think. Phil Roman. He really wanted to push the Hot Wheels brand forward, but unfortunately, the Hot Wheels had to they had to cut corners eventually. And yeah, it's only in the collector line, just like the dairy delivery. But yeah, that has been a look at and a comparison on the VW bus from 1996, and of course the comparison between the 1996 and the reproduction 1998 VW bus. So if you liked it, please give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.